Morris here, and I am coming to you live from my kitchen. And today I wanted to talk to you about the Keto Reboot. It's something that I do every single month. This is actually my 21st Keto Reboot. I started drinking ketones just over 21 months ago now, and I started doing the reboot literally within the first month of drinking ketones. Back in the day when things were just kind of getting rolling with it, it was called the 60-hour keto water wash or the water wash, and it's kind of gone through some progressions so that now the company Prove It that I work with and my company is we have a kit that everybody has access to be able to do what's called the 60-hour keto reboot. So the kit comes in a little box like this. It's available for sale during the first week of every month, so it'll come on sale again November the 1st. So if you're watching this and you want to partake in the November reboot, which I know a lot of people will want, because think about it, you're coming off of Halloween candy eating, maybe a little bit too much chocolate and sugar, and it's a great way of resetting your body. So we'll go over the kind of the reasons behind it. So if you want to get in on the November reboot, make sure you give me a thumbs up in the comments. Don't just give me a thumbs up because I don't see those, so that I know to send you a message so that you can make sure that you get your keto reboot, because they only are for sale during the first week of every single month. So right now, the way this works is that there are actually close to 70,000 people in the world that are all doing this 60-hour keto reboot. And we have an online support group on Facebook that you become part of once you are a keto reboot purchaser. I can add you to the group, or you can add yourself to the group. You just have to answer a couple questions to make sure you're actually doing the reboot. You can go on there, and I'll put the link in the comments below as well, that you can follow and then join the actual reboot group. So in the kit, I'm going to tell you what's in the kit. I'm going to kind of go through the purpose of each of the things that are in the kit. Right now, I'm actually about to boil some water to have my bone broth, which is my lunch. So in the kit, I'm going to show you all the contents. The cost of the kit is $84 US for us in Canada. See, like my Canadian keto shirt here, Prove It shirt, Team North. So in Canada, it's $84 US, which translates, I think, into about 105 Canadian, depending on what the Canadian dollar is doing when you purchase it. So you get in the support group, and I can also email this or messenger it to you. It's a PDF document that explains everything you wanted to know and more about the keto reboot. The most important part, I think, probably for most people, I'll just flip to the page here, is the actual schedule. And this is something, depending on the kind of person you are, my fingers are not sticky enough to turn pages today. Anyway, so depending on the kind of person you are, you might want to like put this schedule in your phone and set reminders of when you're supposed to have what. So last night, 70,000 people around the world started the 60-hour keto reboot. So we're not eating any food during this time. Don't freak out, you're not going to die. We are actually designed as humans to go for long periods of time without eating food. That's why we have body fat, so we can start to burn our own body fat. Wouldn't that be nice? So, and I can tell you personally, this every single reboot, I measure my body composition at the start and I measure it at the finish, and I always lose body fat and maintain muscle, and that's because I'm getting pure energy from ketones. So last night I drank one of these. This is the Keto Calm tea, and this has a small amount of ketones in it, not as much as the product that we're actually drinking in the day, which is the Keto Max. I'll explain that in a minute. So we drink this at night. I usually have mine about an hour and a half to 2 hours before bed. So Sunday, my last meal was at about 7 o'clock at night. I had like some grass-fed hamburgers, a small side of sweet potatoes. I had some broccoli, a small salad, and some avocado, and lots of water, and I put a lot of pink Himalayan salt. That's a typical dinner for me anyway. And then a couple hours later, I had some Keto Calm tea, which I took about an hour and a half before I actually went to bed. And the Keto Calm Tea, guys, if you know, even just on its own, if you have trouble sleeping, even if you're not doing the reboot, this is an amazing product. I like to talk about the Keto Calm Tea separately, but just kind of always surprising to me is that I am not alone in having had dealt with sleeping problems in my life. Most people at some point in time have issues with sleep, and this is a wonderful, wonderful product that you can take that will really help you to relax. It has 5 ingredients in it other than ketones. I'll read them off for you guys so that you know them. But these ingredients normally, if you were to go to a health food store, they would be sold, if you went into the sleep aid section of the health food store, they would all be in individual packages. What's nice is that you're getting all of those sleep enhancers in one package along with the ketones. So this particular one, which is the chocolate flavor, has cocoa powder. It's sweetened with erythritol and stevia and other natural flavors. There's nothing artificial in here. It's gluten-free and dairy-free, and it contains, where are the ingredients? Why can't I find the ingredients on this? Oh, there it is. I apologize. So there we go. They've changed the labeling on this. So it contains B vitamins. It contains some calcium. It contains L-Hica, and Hica is a natural sleep aid. It contains the tea portion as well. I can never say rooibos tea, 5-HTP, L-theanine, AC11. AC11 is a DNA repair molecule, as well as zinc, which helps with immune function. So all of these ingredients in there are put together in an optimized way to help you with sleep and recovery overnight. So I took one of these last night. Actually, probably take the Keto Calm Tea probably every other night, maybe every 3rd night on a regular basis anyway. I just find it really, really helps me to relax and really sleep. And I always feel amazing in the morning. It's not like, you know, if you take melatonin, sometimes you get up in the morning and you feel really groggy. So that you don't get that with a tea at all. In fact, I feel awesome. So we took that last night. That was on the schedule. And I took 2 of these. These are called Signal OS. It contains a compound called AC11, and they're just little capsules that you take, like little pills. So you take 2 of those. And AC11, guys, is an amazing molecule. It actually helps you to repair and regenerate your DNA. And this has been studied now in over 100 placebo-controlled randomized trials, and they've shown that it actually lengthens your telomeres, which is essentially aging in reverse. So you can go Google telomeres, T-E-L-E, telomeres, O-M-E-R-E-S, and these are like little strands at the end of your DNA. So as you're replicating DNA, when we're aging, we're actually replicating damaged DNA, but this actually repairs your DNA, and so you're replicating healthy DNA. So that's actually why it's aging in reverse. This morning I got up and I had a package of Keto Max. This is the raspberry lemonade flavor that comes in the kit. If you don't like the flavor, we can always switch it out for you. So I took that in the morning, and I also took another 2 Signal OS capsules. All the new Max flavors now have AC11 in it, so you're getting a nice double dose of AC11 there for DNA repair. Like I said, now is just around noon, and so according to my schedule, it says that I should be taking broth, which I'm going to make. So I'm going to boil up some water and just literally mix the broth. The bone broth is really cool. It actually has bone broth in it, so it contains collagen, which is really important to repair your intestine and your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints. It contains a small amount of ketones as well. It contains more AC11 for DNA repair and tons of electrolytes. So this is a really, really important part of the reboot. I love this broth. And this afternoon, I'm going to take, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm going to take another Keto Max flavor, the raspberry lemonade decaffeinated version. And then in the evening for dinner, I have my choice of 1 or 2 flavors for dinner for bone broth. I can have the the Keto Thyme, which kind of tastes like chicken soup, or the salted caramel. A lot of people like the salted caramel cold. I actually like it hot. And there's also a new flavor of bone broth called Thai coconut. I'm actually going to try that one today. I've never had it. I haven't had it yet. So I'm excited to try that. And then this evening, I'm going to go and have another Keto Calm tea and more of my AC11 before I go to bed. Then on Tuesday, I'll repeat that whole thing. And then on Wednesday morning, I will break my fast. So a lot of people think that, you know, they have to eat breakfast first thing in the morning. But guys, I want you to think about the word breakfast. What does it actually mean? It's breaking your fast. So we are programmed, socially conditioned, I don't know, trained, whatever you want to call it, to believe that we need to have 3 square meals a day. This is actually not really true. We're also programmed to believe that we should be snacking in between meals. Also not true, a total invention of the food industry, of which I used to work in. And I can tell you that like foods are actually programmed to make you want to eat them more and more. So if you're eating processed foods, you need to stop that because they are addictive. And they're addictive not in a malicious way by the food companies, but basically because they want you to buy more, right? So it's all about money. So over the course of basically 60 hours, that's all I'm doing. I'm following the schedule. It's all laid out for you in the document that you can download from the Keto Reboot official group, or if you want a copy, I can send it to you or just tag you in that post if you're part of that group or you're part of my Facebook group. And again, guys, if you're watching this, if you want to be part of my Facebook group, just say group or add me to your group in the comments below, and I will certainly do that, so you'll have the advantage of seeing stuff in more detail. If you're just like clicking on the thumbs up, it's hard for me to know who gave me that thumbs up. So guys, you have to make a comment for me to actually add you to anything so that I can make sure that you get the information, okay? So make sure you put a comment, even if it's an emoji or a happy face or something, then I know to make sure to get you the information. So guys, that's the Keto Reboot. That's what's in the kit. Comes in a little box like this, all nice and cute and packaged for you. You go online, you go onto Facebook, you get the document that explains everything about the reboot. It tells you also all about optimization, metabolic optimization, doing things like, you know, moving. There's a movement challenge in here, some basic movements like body weight squats, dips, inchworms, jump squats, some things that you can do just to get yourself moving. There's some jumping jack lunges, push-ups, and sit-ups. You don't have to do this if you just want to go for a walk. That's cool too. I personally train throughout the reboot pretty hardcore, and I actually find I feel better during the reboot for my training. And I think a big part of that is that I'm really in ketosis. I'm really using ketones for energy, which are a superior energy source over glucose. And I'm just more mentally clear in general. I tend to be super productive during the reboot as well for a couple of reasons. One, my brain has tons of ketones flowing through it, which the brain prefers for energy. You'll find you just have more mental clarity. And the second reason is that I don't have to cook any food, so I have all this extra time, like probably an extra hour or so every day that I can focus on being productive in whatever way I want. So that's a really cool thing. It's a real time saver. And then, you know, I work out during the fast. I also listen to my body. There have been times when I've done the Keto Reboot where I just was feeling very tired, depending if I had a lot of stress going on in my life. I find the more stressed out I am, the harder the reboots are. So I really try to, like this morning, I booked myself a massage intentionally just to kind of really let myself relax and allow my body to really recover. So that's something I try to do also during the reboot, is get a massage. Just kind of helps me relax and unwind and recover even more, and just helps with things like lymphatic drainage and just kind of flushing out some of the toxins in my body, which is another purpose of the reboot. One thing I really like in this reboot guide is there's a food guide, and this is really cool because it's strict keto, but it's also very paleo diet oriented, which I love, because it's really a focus on high quality ingredients in your diet. So really focusing on foods that are giving you health instead of taking health away. That's how I always like to think about what I put in my body. Is this giving me health, or is this making me worse or less healthy? That's how I kind of make decisions about what I'm going to eat or not eat. Like last night I was already feeling a little bit hungry, and I had not had my tea yet, and I was really craving chocolate, and I was like just about to put a piece of chocolate in my mouth, and I went, wait, is this giving me health or is this taking health away? Laden with sugar, obviously it's taking health away, so I just threw it in the garbage and actually threw out the whole box. Because if you're like me, if something is in the house and you have any kind of temptation, you will eat it. Anyway, so this is a great little thing in the guide about what to eat. And then there's like a little journal thing in here as well, so you can keep track of stuff. So when you do break your fast on Wednesday morning, it'll be for me. And in fact, I never break my fast at the 60-hour mark. I tend to go to about hour 65, 70, because I typically, like every single day, I typically don't eat until about noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. So I like to kind of keep that schedule up. I just feel better not eating in the morning and doing that intermittent fast to help with all sorts of things like increase in growth hormone, better mental clarity, helps me get into a deeper state of ketosis, just basically helps my digestive system rest and repair. And that basically, guys, is the whole gist behind the 60-hour reboot, is really just allowing your body to have time to regenerate itself. I love this analogy. I've used it a million times. If you haven't heard me say it, if you have, too bad. But think of your digestive system like a 4-lane highway, like the 401 in Toronto at rush hour, right? Like if the cars are constantly on the road, how can the repair crews get onto the road to actually fix it? So what we need to do is we need to take the cars off the road, i.e. the food, out of the digestive system to allow that repair to actually take place at a really, really deep level. So intermittent fasting every single day is one way of doing that, but a deeper way of doing that to really get deep cellular repair and heal your gut is by fasting for longer periods of time. I'm not recommending fasting here without doing the keto reboot. This is in total something like 400 calories worth of pure energy from ketones that you're getting in your body. Ketones are considered a 4th macronutrient. So you have carbohydrates, protein, and fat, and now ketones. So essentially your body takes the ketones and produces energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. When you have ketones in your body, you actually produce 30% more ATP or energy from the ketones that you're ingesting. So that's one of the reasons why you tend to feel so alert and good, because you actually are producing more of that precious ATP that your brain and your cells so desire. So the reboot, guys, is an amazing, powerful tool. Even if you don't drink ketones on a regular basis, you know, doing a reboot every single month is definitely something I would highly recommend. Something that I look forward to every single month. I was really looking forward to this one because we in Canada had our Canadian Thanksgiving last weekend. And if you're like me, you know, it's hard to resist the pumpkin pie and the stuffing and the gravy. I mean, I didn't eat a ton of it, but I did have some of it, which is kind of taking me away from the foods that I normally put on my body because it's a social occasion with family and I don't want to socially isolate myself. So that is, you know, the reboot's a great way of kind of resetting everything in my body. Like, you know, we reset our computers or reboot our computers, we reboot our phones, we take our cars in for regular maintenance, we hopefully clean out our furnaces and change the batteries in our smoke detectors. We do all this stuff to the stuff in our house and in our lives, but what are we doing for ourselves? And most people never think about the body in that way. We are a beautiful, complex, intelligent machine that needs constant maintenance in order to run properly. I think of my body like a high performance Ferrari, and I really I give it premium fuel in the form of ketones and the best food my money can afford to keep it running as well as it possibly can. To me, health is everything. Without health, guys, all you're thinking about is how miserable you are from being unhealthy. Being overweight, same thing, right? I don't want to be overweight because it's uncomfortable. I've been overweight. I've carried excess body fat around for a good portion of my life. Looking at me now, you'd never know that. You're only kind of judging me by the chapter of my life that you've walked in on. And I'm telling you guys, I have struggled with body fat for my entire life. And it's, you know, staying lean and staying healthy, I look at it as sort of my number one priority and my number one job, because if I'm not healthy and I'm not comfortable and I'm not happy, how am I going to be able to help others and do the things I love to do? I won't be able to. I will not be able to give as much if I don't take care of myself. So that is why I invest so heavily in learning about the best foods to put in my body, learning about systems like the Keto Reboot that can help keep me on track and reset my body when I do veer off track, when I haven't been perfect. You know, I drink my ketones every single day because I'm not perfect. It's very, very difficult to be perfect. I don't know actually anybody out there who's perfect, and if they are sticking perfectly to their diets, typically they're not a happy camper, because they have to literally, like, you know, lock themselves in a room to avoid any temptation. And I personally don't want to live my life with that. I want to be social. I want to go out for dinner. I want to have a glass of wine once in a while. I want to eat cake when it's a special occasion. I want to eat my mother's special stuffing that she puts in her turkey on Thanksgiving. I won't touch Halloween candy. That's one thing I don't touch. But generally speaking, like, you know, I still want to live, but I also want to be healthy. And that is one of the things that ketones and the reboot have allowed me to do on a regular basis over this last almost 2 years now of drinking ketones and doing a reboot every single month. We have an amazing support group, guys. We have an amazing team. If something like this interests you, please give me a comment in the comments below so I know that you were interested, and I will try to add you to the group, or we can have a discussion. There's never any pressure for me to buy anything, I swear. My goal here is to educate people so that you can make the best, most informed. This is really weird. My coffee maker just decided to rinse itself in the middle of this live. Just decided to go crazy there. It's rebooting. My coffee maker is rebooting. So, you know, my goal, guys, is to educate you, get you the information that you need so you can make an educated decision, right? You can't make an educated decision if you're not educated. So I encourage you, ask questions, be curious, be skeptical. Guys, being skeptical is awesome because that means that you're curious and you're interested and you really want to take yourself to the next level. When I first started drinking ketones, I was so skeptical. I hounded John Smay up at CrossFit Massimo in Collingwood for weeks. And then I made the decision that I have nothing to lose. This makes a ton of sense for me. The science is there. Frig, I just listened to a podcast yesterday that was like 2 hours long with two biochemists talking about, you know, 50% of what they were talking about was like way over my head. And it just goes to show how much that we just don't know, and how much the scientists are behind this and researching this, like literally hundreds, if not thousands of different researchers around the world, researching pure therapeutic ketones, researching the ketogenic diet, researching, you know, what is the best for our bodies and how can we get the most out of life. So that's my message for you today. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me. If you are interested in getting a keto reboot before November 1st, I do have some extra ones. I encourage you guys though to wait until November 1st. Just drop me a comment below and I will let you know when the next reboot goes on sale. And you can get it off of my site or one of the people who might have referred you to this video site. Always go to the person that told you about ketones first. We are a network marketing company. I like to think of it more as a community-based marketing company. We help each other out. And there's, you know, opportunity here for people to change their lives, not just physically, health-wise, but financially. And the financial change that you make, you know, can really help you help more people if that's something that you love. And personally, as a coach, I have never ever in my life been able to reach more people than through Prove It than any other thing that I've ever done in fitness or nutrition counseling. I love talking about this product because it is a game changer, life changer, and honestly, the best thing I have seen in nutrition technology in my 25-year career. So I appreciate your time, guys. Any questions, again, just message me, drop a comment below, and I'm happy to help you. And I'm now going to go make my keto time. Actually, I'm not going to make the keto time. I'm going to make the, I'm going to go find it, the coconut Thai bone broth and give that a whirl. So I'll give you my reviews on that. Thank you again. If you love this video, give me a thumbs up. If it was helpful for you, give me a thumbs up. If you want some information, send me a comment and we will get that to you. Have a great Monday, everybody. Take care. See you soon.